34, everybody. Welcome.
Michael McDowell, 34.
Weldon
What's the other
Scott
one I
with
could come
469 races in the 34.
Who was that again?
Who?
Weldon Squat. Scott.
His name is Squat.
I don't know squat about that guy.
It's Wendell Scott. You
Oh
Wendell.
my god.
What did he call him?
Weldon.
Weldon Squat.
Weldon Squad. Bro, that's like something Bart Simpson would sing. Weldon Squat.
Racing for Weldon Squat. Racing for Granjo.
A lot of like weird names have driven this car, like David Reagan, John Andretti, Landon Castle, David Gilliland.
Wow, it's like
This guy's name's Dick Beatty. I'm not even fucking kidding.
What?
He did 35 races. Dickbeaty.
I think that's Beatty, actually.
Beatty?
No,
I don't know if that's any better.
No,
It's pronounced Beatty. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Hold on. This guy drove in the 50s. Oh my god.
And Dick Beatty coming around the corner.
Yeah,
Dick
that makes
Beatty.
so much more sense now. Oh my goodness.
And
All
the
right.
winner
Well,
is Dick Beatty.
speaking of the 50s.
Oh.
Speaking of NASCAR. We had a good old 268 lap race at Kansas for the Hollywood Casino 400. Overall, you know what? It was a solid race. I think Kansas always provides some great racing. I love that it's always got multi-groove. You can run the bottom, middle, and top and still be competitive no matter what. For some reason, all three races this weekend were just like a caution fest. So that was always fun. But we had our boy Larson won stage 1. Good old BK won stage 2. And Denny Hamlin loses another race after doing very well all race. I actually don't know. I think he led 63 laps this race, but he was looking very strong all race. And unfortunately, we had the yellow come out very late. Ended up getting a green-white checkered restart. We had a few guys stayed out, or one guy stayed out. I can't remember who it was, but someone stayed out, didn't take any tires, and just went absolutely backwards. The other people, there was about 4, 5, 6 people that took 2 tires. And then the remainder took 4, and that left basically Reddick and Hamlin racing each other all race. Those were probably the 2 fastest cars on track, so that's expected aside from Larson. Elliott actually got some laps led in there too, so good to hear from him again. But yeah, no, Reddick got the jump, got by the lap cars, and he just drove away pretty much. It was unfortunate for Denny. That was kind of the win he needed there, but you know what? Oh well.
Hamlin got a terrible start in that restart too.
He did. He was saying that he was looking behind him too much. I think he was trying to not let I can't recall who was behind him, but he was trying to not let him get a jump on him, and he just whiffed it. So a little bit of a rookie move there, but it is what it is. He gets paid more money than I do, so I can't say much about it. So that is what it is. I will say, Dave, your boy Logano pulled out some magic there at the end. He was sitting at the cut line, like 0 on the cut line, like with Truex right there. Which, by the way, we should bring up. Hold on, before I go back to Logano. Truex, 3 laps into the race, was out. Somehow he had a tire go down. That was really crappy. So he's literally had the worst start to the playoffs possible. However, his regular season points buffer is keeping him in the playoffs right now. I'll get an update on where we're actually at with that here shortly. I just got to pull it up. But back to Logano. He was sitting +0 to the cut line. Made a call, came out on 2 tires. All he had to do was make it around 2 laps. Guess what? Now he's +12 above the cutoff line. So he was doing fantastic. Good strategy call on them. That was sweet. So just a little update. We do have, so Larson is through as he won last week. Reddick is now through to the next round. So we're coming up to the cutoff race here at Bristol, which is going to get spicy. Right now, it's probably looking like Denny's basically going to lock himself in. Same with Byron. It'd be hard to see Denny, Byron, Keselowski, or Blaney fall out of it, even Busch. The only guys that are really super at risk without wrecking out, it was probably going to be Logano, Harvick. Truex is -7. So right now, of our predictions, I can't remember who predicted who, but We got McDowell's negative 40 out. I can't see him making it unless he wins, which he's done before. Stenhouse Jr. Actually he didn't do it before. He came second. But anyways, Stenhouse is negative 22. Bubba's negative 19, and Truex is negative 7. So really hoping Truex can get in there. Harvick's plus 7 right now, so I don't want to see either of those two guys out. But I guess if someone did have to take the L, I'd probably want Truex to take it over Harvick just because it's Harvick's last year.
Hey.
I know my boy Levi's not happy about that,
What
but you know,
why you gotta be like that? What do you do to you?
Yeah, I know. He didn't do nothing to me. It's all good. But no, anyways, I thought overall though it was actually a really good race. I enjoyed watching it. I am stoked for Bristol. It's going to be a disaster. I recommend watching it so that you can skip the commercials because there's probably going to be lots of them because there's going to be 10,000 yellows. But my boy Blaney's in 6th right now. That's all that matters. Just saying. All right. Anyways, what'd you guys think of the race? Do we have any takers? Did you guys even watch? Probably not.
I had flashbacks to Texas Motor Speedway last year, the race I was at. Mile and a half track. Well, it was a mile and a half with a ton of cautions and playoff race, and I didn't know when it was going to end for a little bit. We just needed a lightning delay, and it would have been almost exactly the same. And I want to say I did call Reddick winning, by the way. I didn't say he was going to win this race, but I explicitly said that homeboy was going to pull through by winning. So,
did this change anybody's predictions for the Final Four or no?
No,
but one of mine is on the cut line now.
Who was it? Truex?
Yep.
Yeah, that was my guy. I mean, but I think he can do it. Gotta have faith.
I'm not worried. I think that's a strong enough team that they'll be fine in Bristol.
Yeah.
As long as Logano ain't got nothing to say about it, I think he'll be fine.
You just don't want Logano to say anything about it.
When was that? Was that 2018? I can't remember. That was rough, though.
Yeah.
Logano. Or I remember Truex was choked. Logano was like, short track racing, as Denny would say. But that was pretty much it, Norman. Roll us through the IndyCar race. Because none of us watched it.
Well, I'll tell you this. I watched it, and because the championship was wrapped up, I think all the drivers said, fuck it. Everyone wanted to win this race. And we had a caution fest.
Yeah, and a lack of ability to restart clean.
Yes.
Oh, it was bad.
Yeah, so turn 1, lap 1. 5-car pileup. Not all the same wreck. Everyone just running into everyone. So caution comes out immediately. Our boy Dixon don't agree with the penalty, but gets a penalty for avoidable contact when he gets hit in the rear, then hits someone else. But IndyCar ruled that. He was pissed. He was cussing all over the Mike. Dropped back to 12th, and he already came in with the race with an engine penalty, so he's already starting 6 places further back than he's supposed to. So he's not having a good day. He's cussing up a storm. Gets put on an alternate strategy, and through the cautions and everything, after the final caution, you look up and look at who's sitting in second. It's Scott Dixon. And they get the green flag, and he drives. I forget who it was. I think it was like Pato, or I think it was one of the McLarens. And he drove off with the race with 20 laps to go and never looked back. But it was a shit show. Cars sliding all over the place. Islet actually finished in the top 5, shockingly. And our boy Stingray Rob finished, I think, 12th.
So Stingray Rob!
Stingray Rob!
So he got his finish of his thing. But yeah, it was a caution fest. Hello, Artie Rad wrapped up the championship. He takes it home. He was dominant too, that race, but how cautions fell, it fell right back into Dixon's lap, and he showed everyone how it's done. When the race doesn't go your way, how you can still win it. So that's pretty much it for IndyCar.
Way to go. Nice recap.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Like I said, I only watched like the extended highlights, so to speak. I guess you could say. Yes, that's what I did. And it was kind of hard even to watch the 16 minutes there because it was like every time they'd go to restart, you're like, all right, watch some racing. They piled up again. Let's try again, But
when your extended highlights are 16 minutes, it was a really good race or it was a shit show.
Yeah. Well, and then the simple fact, there was some really, really, really good saves by drivers. I think, what the heck's his name? AJ Foyt's driver that did so good at Indy, and I was hoping that he would win it, and then he ended up not winning it.
Dan for whatever.
What's his
Ferrucci?
name? Yes, Ferrucci. He had a one hell of a save. If you want to go back and look at anything on that race, go back and look that up. That was pretty good. But yeah, it was a crapshoot for sure.
And I think what was it? Elio Castroneves just had a terrible day.
Yeah, I mean he's had so many good ones over his career. He's just due one,
Dude, he kept just making mistake after mistake and just cut in front of people trying to re-enter a track.
Yeah, I did see that one. Yep.
Come on, good. Elio.
You're better than that, bro. Elio.
So, but that's pretty much the season finale for Indy. We'll wait till March of next season at St. Pete again. Pretty probably going to be running the exact same schedule as they ran this year. Lots of road courses, small ovals except for Indy. So we'll see how that goes.
Hold on. Topic of discussion for 2 seconds. Should IndyCar keep ovals besides the Indy 500?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Y'all think so, eh? I'm on the other side. I think they should just send it and go full road course.
Really?
No, man. I think Indy oval racing's stupid. I think you're just waiting to kill somebody. That's about it.
But that's you think I watch football because of good passes?
Nah,
football for the hits, bro.
No, I get that, but I mean, like, to me, it's just like this. I don't like the style of racing. It just seems kind of like a shittier version of like NASCAR super speedway racing.
How dare you?
Maybe that's just me, but like it's probably good on a track like Iowa or something. But I mean, like when you go to like Texas, it's just like, okay, like we're just gonna go do 240 and somebody's gonna die. Like I don't know, man. I don't see the fun in it. Like I've done it.
It's why they don't run as many now. I've watched
it in real life. It's just I think just nobody wants to do it. I mean, like look at most guys when they first started. They didn't want to like when Jimmy hopped over, he didn't want to do ovals. I don't fucking blame him. I wouldn't want to do ovals either.
Yeah, it's why they don't go to Pocono anymore. It's why they don't do any of these.
Oh yeah, man, they'd be hauling ass at Pocono.
Well, after what was it? Wickham's wreck at Pocono paralyzed him.
Yeah,
they stay away from Pocono, and I'm shocked they still go to Texas.
I think Texas is too fast too. I'll be honest with you. I don't know, man. I don't think Indy cars belong on ovals. I don't think open wheel cars belong on ovals. Period. To be completely honest with you, they just get too much speed.
I think Iowa's in the gateways. They need more tracks like that. They're actually entertaining to watch. I think Iowa actually could be included as a little too fast because they're doing 40-second laps there or something. I think it's 20-second laps.
Let's put them on Bristol. It's Bristol, baby.
Bristol dirt, IndyCar racing.
Oh God, could you imagine?
I'd like, which one? I think New Hampshire would be fun for them.
Maybe it's pretty flat.
Yeah, you're gonna have to check up.
Yeah. It's hard to say. I don't know. I just don't think they belong on ovals, but I'm sure I'll be pissed off the entire IndyCar fan base. But anyways, it's
I know you pissed me off.
You just pissed off me.
Well, it's okay. It's just pretty much in this podcast. Yeah, basically just Norman. But Levi, what you got for F1, baby? Run me through it.
Yeah, we got the Singapore Grand Prix coming up. Ready to get back to racing again. I know we had arguments about this pre-recording. Yes, it is. It's this weekend. I'm for sure now. I've checked all my stuff and yeah. So nothing real big going on. Usually, it's kind of a lull time because we had so much, not I want to say controversy or just rumors and stuff flying around during the little midsummer break or whatever. That everybody's kind of done their updates. They're kind of riding along. I'm sure there's updates on cars, but there's not going to be anything real super big or anybody catching up. I do like the Grand Prix. I think it's a good one. We'll just have to see kind of how it goes. I think it's I think it's back to regular format for the what do you call that? Like qualifying and all that stuff. They're just going to be doing the same thing that they've been doing, which is the whites, hards to start out Q1, then go to Q2, they go to yellows, and then Q3 is the reds. So that's been kind of throwing some people off. I think some of the lower ranked teams and mid ranked teams. I think top teams are still doing good. Besides Hamilton, he's having some issues, and I don't know if it has anything to do with the tires. But besides that, should be good to go. You got practice 1, 2, 3 qualifying race weekend, so should be fun. I'm betting I know who wins.
Yeah.
Hey, we could see the first
so
mechanical
excited.
DNF. Yeah, no.
Well, that's the other thing we got to talk about. Like him and Perez both, that Red Bull, it just hadn't fell apart, man. They haven't had that many mechanical issues. We've seen almost every other team have something at some point, but they just keep trucking. I mean, it's a really, really good built car right now. Unstoppable as far as I'm concerned. So
I'm just saying, if they dominate this entire season, even if they don't win the remaining of the races like they have been, if they go this whole season without a mechanical failure, I'm sorry, nobody can detest how absolutely insane that is. Like, as a team, Red Bull, like, they haven't even, like, they've had like one bad pit stop. That's insane. Like, Mercedes dominated. Like, this is just ridiculous domination. This isn't even like, this is insane.
It's insane.
Like, we thought Mercedes was insane. Then Red Bull was like, nah, hold my beer. Hold my Red Bull.
Hold my.
Anyways, no,
joke of the day.
I think it's actually insane. Like, I thought Mercedes domination was nuts when I was watching it, and I was just like, all right, I'm over this. But like, I'm already over Red Bull's dominance, and it's only been a year and a half. Realistically, it's only been a year because they only started dominating like halfway through last year, probably.
Yeah, I mean these guys are insane.
It's nuts, so
and they didn't overspend in 2022. So that's good. We found that out.
Yep. They ain't eating as well anymore. So they had a few buns with some bread,
right?
Instead of the gourmet chef's kiss pasta. But anyways,
yeah. So that's all good. So they're clean and clear of any of all the bad vibes that were coming off of that. They had too much to eat and all that stuff or whatever was being said. They spent too much on meals or overpaid or I don't. Come on, you know what I'm saying? They're just trying to bring them down, but I don't think they're ever going to get there. So, anyways, dominance continues, I'm sure, but we will have to see. Something crazy could happen. Who knows?
Yeah,
that nothing crazy is going to happen.
Oh,
yeah,
like
good.
I mean, that sounded really nice what you just said. Like
nice
anything
guy,
can happen, but no. Right? I mean, we're gonna have to have total regulation overhaul before we see something happen. These guys are on it.
Max and PK break up. Max is devastated and finishes last the rest of the season.
Like he don't have about 18 women standing in line. You know what I'm saying?
But, yeah, even though he looks like Sid the Sloth a little.
Hey, you know it ain't had to do none of it looks to get that much money involved.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's for another podcast. Tune in.
Yeah.
Tune into our F1 Love podcast. That's not a thing, by the way. Don't go look for it. I mean, go look for it. Hell, it might be good. I don't know.
It's not by us.
Not by me.
So.
Anyways, do we have a topic for some more talkage? Just kind of out of the realm here. We're going to do a little switch up on what we usually do. I think if Norman, you're going to start us off on it, we'll give it a shot and see how it goes.
Yeah. Give us feedback on how y'all feel about it. But this topic for this week is going to be talent versus money climbing the racing ladder. Which one is more valuable? And I'm going to go out and step and say that through what I know and before I even started my research, I felt that money was more valuable than talent in racing. And after doing some research, I think it backs up pretty well. I don't know what the other guys think, but I think, yeah, you have money over talent, you're going to get higher up than the guy with the talent.
And is this international or U.S.?
This is anything. So IMSA to F1
Anything.
to IndyCar to NASCAR to, racing lemons.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Do we get to actually race in lemons, or do we gotta sit and wait for our car to be built?
So, do y'all have any feedback to start off with? Ideas?
Yeah, I mean, I think number one, you have to start young, right? And whether you're in it for talent or in it for money. And on the talent side, it's for practice. On the money side, it's for connections, or because you're probably a dad that is wanting your son to get good at something. All of this starts with like racing a kart at between 4 and 10 years old normally, right?
Right.
What do y'all think about that? Is that a good assumption?
Wait,
well, see,
sorry,
that's
no
the
matter
problem.
money or talent, the places where they all meet and it is karting. Because whether you're money or talent, that's where you start.
So for road course, yes, but like if we're talking all racing, I mean, you got Kyle Larson, right, at the top of NASCAR for the last little bit,
or quarter midgets, or whatever the karting equivalent is.
Exactly. I mean, it's dirt track, so it's kind of different because like around here in Oklahoma, you start out with, if you're going to start like mini sprints is what we used to call them. I don't know what they call them now, midgets or whatever, but you started out with like motorcycle engines, right? So it's super cheap. Well, I guess it's the same thing what you're saying, right? Go-karts. But if you want to be better, then you have to move up to the bigger, like 750s, and then you have to move into V6 or V8. So I guess it's along the same lines. It's just, it seems like the go-karting is way more, you have to have a lot of money tied up into it to get going. Where dirt track, you can start pretty local if you're in the right spot,
If you're in the right spot.
I don't know if that makes any sense or not. I'm just kind of like talking in circles. But what I'm trying to say is it just seems like it's a lot cheaper to get into a dirt track car than it would be to a competitive go-kart in my mind. But I don't have competitive go-karting around me, so I really can't attest to that being an official statement,
All right, so I'll give you my 2 cents. I'll start it off, I guess. So I guess if I had to pick one, it's obviously money, right? Is my take without doing any like deep research on the topic personally. But from what we've talked about in previous episodes and in, private, and what I know from some friends of mine who race and things, it sure seems like it's not so much money what makes you good. It's money that the talent hits a wall at. You know what I mean? Like money's not an enabler. It's a limiting factor. Like if you either have it or you don't, like you can buy your way in, sure. But for most, money is not that. Money is the thing that you run out of on the talent side. Well, you can get sponsors and overcome the money issue and have talent and make it, but that takes money still. Like it doesn't get free is what I'm trying to say. Like whether you make it in talent or money, someone's shelling out either, whether depending on your sport, thousands, tens, hundreds, or millions of dollars, depending on what you're doing. So someone's paying. And so money obviously is the choice. But I think like the problem for young people is that they want to go get into karting. So like I want to go buy like a Rotax CRG kind of spec kart, right? Like for my teenage son, like those are like $5,000, right off the bat. That doesn't include the race suit, fire suit, Hans collar, all of the underwear and socks, and and he's going to want to customize it, and like so just getting into that karting scene I was talking about alone, like unless you're running, I mean there's Briggs and Stratton and there's some other stuff, but like to get to that serious level where you're suiting up and putting it in the trailer, don't forget about the trailer, that's expensive, and the truck for the trailer, it's like owning a horse. You know what I mean? Like, it's an expensive sport and hobby to get into. So where I'm going with this is, I think that like there's limitations to the money side, because like look at a guy like Nicholas Latifi. Unfortunately, like all the money in the world. I don't want to say Lance Stroll because I think Lance Stroll has some talent, and Latifi obviously had some talent in the junior leagues, or he wouldn't be in Formula One. But the fact is like the money guys crash and burn harder than anyone else. That's where I'm going with this. When they hit their wall, it's not something you can overcome. The talent guys can. They can find sponsors. They can prove themselves. They can increase their social media presence. But when the money guy hits his talent wall, like old Lewis Hamilton's brother, or I don't know, there's a ton of these guys that we could name. Like they stay there forever. They never overcome it. You can't just buy yourself a Formula One seat, as much as we'd like to think so. I think there's other things we're not considering either, like connections. It's all about who you know, whether it's the racing or music or whatever. It's about who you know. So a guy that doesn't have that much money, if he's got connections, because like a guy like Lewis Hamilton didn't have a lot of money, but he got involved with McLaren super early and really turned heads at McLaren like as a young kid and made that connection. And so I think that, you know, that's what got him his seat is he was a name in people's head early on. Work ethic is huge. Whether you're money or you're a talent guy, if you're not willing to put in the fucking work and get, you know, the crazy looking neck and stuff, like it's not going to work out for you, man. At least in Formula One, I know all of the racing.
Juice your neck, boy.
Juice your neck, boy. And most importantly, timing and luck is everything, I think, right? Like whether you're money or talent, it's all about like getting the call at the right time or being available at the right time. Whether you're Liam Lawson or Danny Ricciardo or a guy like Nick DeVries last year, unfortunately, you know, like it's all about timing. And so I think that either a talent or money guy can get the shot of a lifetime if he's available at the right time and has connections, work ethic, and sponsors, or in the talent case. So that's my take on the topic. Anyway, now discuss.
Well, I'll go to how you ended that topic with luck. And you got Lundqvist in IndyCar now, who's solidified himself as a good driver, I would say. Winning his first race this year and stuff. But he backdoored his way onto the IndyCar field because I forget who it was, had a concussion, and he got to fill in for him. And then his talent showed during the race, and that's how he got his full-time seat.
Exactly.
So if it wasn't for that, he would still be in the lower divisions.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if your dad owns whatever. Like, if there's not a seat, there's not a seat. You know what I mean?
But he, you know, he didn't have the money. He didn't have the funding to be one of the top guys. So that was very interesting part. But we also have another thing to kind of talk about in this situation is definitely where, and this is worldwide right now, the economy is struggling. And a lot of sponsorship, people don't want to put their money into sponsoring drivers. So I think right now we're seeing a huge influx of daddy's money in racing being able to produce you into racing.
That's a really interesting point. I didn't think about that. But absolutely, that's absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and then we got to look at Marcus Ericsson's leaving Ganassi. Marcus Ericsson paid for his seat at Ganassi.
Yeah.
He brought in the Husky chocolate sponsorship. That's the only reason he was with them. And now he's moving to Andretti and kicking out Romain. So, you know, you got a Formula One driver who's losing his IndyCar seat. You know, but he hasn't performed. So
yeah.
We'll see. And then you have the series that are screwing things up too. So IndyCar bought the Indy Lights series this past year. So now we have the Indy Next series, right?
Yeah.
Through my research, when Indy Lights, you won the Indy Lights championship, you got 3 IndyCar races and $800 to $1 million.
Yeah.
That's some dope.
That's some money. It's not
now you're not
in
guaranteed
professional
you just
sporting. It's not crazy, but that's some money.
Yeah, but I think the bigger thing from my research is you got 3 IndyCar races to prove yourself the next season.
Yeah. We call that
Like you're
starting kicker money.
guaranteed 3 seats, 3 races.
Man, give me some of that starter kicker money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, that's when you can finally show your talent. Okay, I'm with the big boys. Now let me show you what I got. I made it. I got the Indy lights. I won it. So now let me show you that I can race with these guys. Now you just get money and you're just waiting for the big guys to call you up. And so Dave, say that you win the Indy Next championship, right? And then Levi goes to Ganassi and pays Ganassi, $5 million and takes your seat. And now you're still running Indy Next the next season.
Yeah. Well, you see it in every series.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's frustrating, man.
I think the feeder series are too big. I think they need to pump the brakes and go back to less money, get money out of them.
But you're never going to get money out of it because it's a sport.
No, you're not.
No.
Once you start putting it in, it's gone. You've got Stingray Robb. It took him 4 years to win the Indy Pro Championship. And now he's taking up a seat in IndyCar. And he's not performing.
Oh, come on. He's tried his best.
He didn't end up in the river, though. If he ended up in the river, we might have had something more exciting to talk about.
Come on, Stingrays. Tried his best. He did really good this last week. Your last race showed it up.
So,
it's a crapshoot, is what it is. In my opinion, at least, compared to any other sport, it's where, especially endurance, it's a crapshoot. Like,
I think endurance is easier to not have money because it's so many.
If you can have a whole, like,
it's also easier to not have talent.
Yeah, if you can have a, what do you call that? A whole series, not a series, but just a qualification of cars in a series that it's nothing but pretty much rich dudes. Like,
welcome to WC.
Yeah, come on, man. Like,
well,
that right there tells you.
A good point in like the IMSA racing, like the Porsche Cup. You've got your platinums, your golds, your bronze. You got all those drivers. So if I'm a bronze driver and I show up and I'm turning, silver drivers' lap times, I'm going to get noticed. And then people are going to be like, dude, he could be our silver driver, Or if I'm a silver driver and I'm competing with a platinum guys are going to go, I want that guy in my car.
Yeah.
I might have bought my seat in the silver car, but then my talent's going to show you that I can be a platinum driver. So I think that's where, I guess, because it is a pro-am style racing. So you are looking at amateurs are live on the track with the pros. So you're getting that reference immediately.
Yeah.
I guess is that where the easier side of it comes from.
Yeah, man. Like I think you see this across all tiers. I mean, it's a unique beast. I'm not really sure how you fix it. But we happen to have a professional racing driver in our 4-man team. So what does he think about all this? Mr. I own a car. What's up?
So I will say, I think regardless of whatever route you go, it's expensive, nevertheless. Now, there's different avenues you can take, whether it's renting your car, there's owning your own car, there's road, there's oval, there's dirt, there's all kinds of options available to you. I think the money and talent thing, obviously everybody wants it to be talent over money, but obviously you definitely need some sort of financial backing if you want to go anywhere in racing nowadays. So it definitely makes it very hard for people who could potentially be geographically challenged. And what I mean by that is, like, for my example, I am a Canadian. I live on the west coast of Canada, but I predominantly race in the US. So in order to get sponsors, I can get Canadian sponsors, but it's not doing much for them in the US. Or I can get American sponsors, but they're like, why wouldn't I just sponsor the other American guy here who's better than you anyways? Right? So there's give and take in that regard. Like it definitely sucks. There's a lot of limitations. Again, geographically is a big thing. Hell, even, as much as we hate to say it, there's probably something to do with race and sex as well. Depending on which one you are, it's still here. No matter how hard we try and get rid of racism and sexism, it's still unfortunately a thing that is involved or is very, predominant across the country. So I'm sure all of that helps. And you know what? Nowadays, being a white male makes it almost even harder. Nobody wants to sponsor just a white average driver male anymore because there's literally no benefit. He doesn't win. He's not part of a minority. Like, you know what I mean? It's hard.
No, that's the exact reason I'm not racing, honestly. That's the only reason. It has nothing to do with talent or never driven a car before. You know what I mean?
Well, and it just gets worse with age. It gets worse with age, too. And it's not because literally you're older. It's because there is no benefit of having a middle-aged white dude that's average at driving a race car. Now, and I'm not saying that you're average at driving a race car, Lee. I don't know. You could be amazing. You could be dog water. I have no idea. But you know what I mean? So you get all kinds of those limitations on top of how political racing is. And then you coincide that with there's a whole bunch of different routes you can go. Now, oval, I still believe, like me personally, I think I would put my kid in karting over quarter midgets, even if he was going to go the oval route. I think, a lot of these oval series are starting to add road courses. We see it with NASCAR. I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing late models on a road course here and there, like on ones that are an actual late model tour. Like I'm not talking about a series that just you show up to the track every day. They host late models. I'm not talking that. I'm talking about a tour. I wouldn't be surprised if they start throwing road courses on. So, anyways, I think you get the car control and all that stuff from karting. I think you get. It's definitely more expensive of an entry than quarter midgets. I would say the upkeep, though, is almost the fucking same. It depends on how competitive you want to get. Once you start getting into shifter, if you start doing national events, you start doing regional events, like everything, it becomes more expensive no matter what you do. And it gets to a point where after those entry-level things like karting and quarter midgets and legends and micro sprints, once you proceed further, that's where you really need the financial backing. Like, you can't do it with that anymore. Like, it's like, all right, we got to start getting serious about this. So, anyways, I know that wasn't really the question. I know the question was more, do we think talent matters or money matters? I do still, unfortunately, believe in this day and age that money does really matter. You don't have to be someone who's got a loaded dad. I'm not saying you got to have, Lawrence Stroll behind you, but you have to have some sort of financial backing, whether it's, Bob's Burger and Bar down the street, or it's, some chain like Napa Auto Parts or something.
Yep. Someone's got to pay.
Someone's got to pay, right? You're never going to get anywhere. I'll give you actually a good example of where money matters more than talent. So we did look into Pro Mazdas back when they were still Pro Mazdas. Now it's something else. And if you wanted to buy a Pro Mazda chassis, ready to go, ready to race, and enough parts to build another one, it was like $175K, right? You're like, all right, that's realistically, that's not bad. When you think about it, that's two whole built race cars basically. But as much as you want to go run that, you can go run that all day you want in Pro Mazda. You'd run last place. You have no team, you have no setup idea, no idea to set the thing up. You got to learn all that. So you're paying for experience. And when you go to a team and you're like, and first of all, they want like $500,000 a year to go run competitively, so you can see the price difference. But two, they're expecting someone with experience too, and money, because you got to pay that much and have the experience. So, anyways, again, regardless of where you go, you need to have talent to drive the thing, and you also need to have the money. But almost nowadays, like, they're taking guys that have more money than talent. So, let's say you got two drivers, right? One is like, let's say, I don't know, let's use a rating as an example, just because that's the best thing I can think of, a number scale. So you have a driver that can drive with an 80 rating, and you got a driver that can drive with a 70 rating, but the 70 rating has like hundreds of thousands of dollars of sponsorship, and the guy that's got 80 rating has tens of thousands of dollars of sponsorship. They're going to take the 70 all day long.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate, but that's kind of the way it is. I mean, again, you were talking about Nicholas Latifi. as much as we destroy the dude, he's obviously got some sort of talent. He could drive an F1 car. Given he did have some spins and stuff, like, I get it. But, I mean, you're going to throw me in an F1 car, I bet you I'm not going to do better than he did. So,
yeah, no.
You know what I mean? Like, it's the average person is not going to be able to do it. So, obviously, he's got some sort of a talent ability.
Yeah.
So, anyways, make what you will with that. I know that's not a solid answer, but realistically, there is no right answer.
Pretty solid answer.
Yeah.
It was a crap answer.
I'll give it like an 8 out of 10.
That's coming from Backmarker Motorsports over here, so that's the best I can give you.
Yo.
Backmarker Motorsports.
Still chasing top 10s? No,
that's right. Maybe one day, baby.
To carry on the topic, so kind of discuss this. Through my research, I think I found that the Formula ladder is the hardest ladder to climb in racing. But once you get to the top of the ladder, it's the easiest to stay on top. And the reason why is that there's so much more money in the Formula ladder, but it's easier to stay on top because instead of competing against yourself, you're competing against your teammate when it comes to the races. So you only have to beat one car. Just beat your teammate, and you're probably going to stay on at that team.
I think that there is no simple answer to the question, but the simplest answer is the shit's expensive.
I think the best advice I can give anybody starting in racing, though, would be, or like whether it's you're starting at teenage level or you're an adult or I guess I'll give it for all different aspects. But if you got a kid and you want them to start off, go put them in karting. It's going to be an expensive initial cost. And you know what? Tires do cost a lot of money, but you know what? A 206 is nothing. It's not a lot of upkeep. You got to rebuild the motor maybe once a season. You got to put a tire set on it maybe once every couple races, maybe every few races if you really don't care. And you know what? The car control, the experience you get, the driving in the rain. Dude, I drove in the rain like 3 times in a kart. We did it in the Legends, and I kicked everyone's ass because they've never done it before.
Yeah.
It literally, that much experience helps. What does that tell you? So,
yeah.
Anyways, it's huge. I think if you're a teenager too, like, hop in a kart, man. It might be an expensive initial investment, but man, it's a lot of fun, and you can do a lot more with it. And it's competitive whether you are at the back, the middle, the front. It doesn't matter. It's a solid field of competition. And if you're an adult, hell, man, hop in a kart too if you can fit in one. Why the hell not? Wouldn't you, dude? It's the easiest thing to get into. If you really want to get into oval racing and road racing, and you want something that's a car, I'm telling you, Legend's the most diverse thing you can hop in. They're anywhere from 10 to 25 grand, depending on how much you want to spend. The tires aren't ridiculous. They last a while. We got a guy, I'll give you an example. There's this track near me. It is SCCA sanctioned racing, but it's more like gentleman's racing. Like, you're not going to find any crazy intense competition, guys dooring each other. Like, you're pretty much driving race cars that you don't want to destroy, right? Like, the intention is obviously to not, like, give each other space and all that stuff. There's a guy who bought a Legend, brand new, knew there was nobody to race with. He just loves running it every week. He's ran it all year and has had shit tons of fun with it. I've never heard anyone complain about it. So diverse. The car can go on road courses, go on ovals, and go on dirt. It's great. And if you want to be competitive with it, US Legend Cars has stuff all over friggin' North America, basically, to be completely honest with you. I mean, I don't know their presence in Mexico or anything like that, but the US and Canada, you're laughing. So
yeah.
Anyways, that's my 2 cents. Everything else is too expensive because especially where I live.
Yeah.
Or micros too, cool if you like dirt.
I think Levi can kind of attest to this. Growing up, we were in that weird where money started taking over talent break. Because used to, like, when I was young, I remember, like the Earnhardts and everyone and the Allisons, all those guys, they grew up in the race shop working and building cars with their dads and then just became drivers from that. And now your driver doesn't even know what a freaking track bar is.
Yeah. I mean, so where I came from, it was a little 3/8 mile dirt track, little baby dirt track, but they just ran, like, I think the biggest thing they ever ran on there. I think they've had V6s maybe in what they used to call, it's a bomber now. It used to be called, like, it was a mini stocks, what we called them. It was just like a regular size car, kick the windows in, strip it down, roll bar, throw an engine in it. I don't even think they were running V8s there. They might have been, maybe like 305s or something, but They used to run 750 turf tire was like the biggest one. It was a 750cc engine and a motorcycle engine. And so that's kind of give you the feel of what it was. So it wasn't all that expensive. My dad had known the owner since they were running around when they were kids. He grew up with him. He knew his sons. He knew his family. I guess what I'm trying to get at, my dad worked there running the board, lining people up for those different heats and races. My uncle ran the gates. My cousin was one of the guys in the four-wheeler pushing the guys, if they got their car, killed or whatever, and long story short, I could have picked up a used frame. I could have probably gotten an old used engine to rebuild. But just the fact that it was that much more money, for my family at the time, because there was going to be some input at some point, right? If you wanted to win. So we weren't going to do anything if we didn't have a chance to even compete. It's kind of, I think, how my dad always put into it. So he liked to be around racing. My uncle liked to be around racing. So they worked at the track because my family didn't have enough to go out and build a car, to make a car, whatever the case may be. They ran four-wheelers on that thing back in the day and three-wheelers, if you can believe that, around a dirt track. My cousin did get into that because we had a little, Honda 90, Honda 110s, whatever, three-wheelers, death traps, and actually skidded around it, but never got to do any of that kind of stuff. So,
hey, driving a three-wheeler takes talent.
It's pretty sketch. And then these guys would be kicking them out and leaning over and all kinds of stuff. But they quit that fairly quickly once, the 90s hit, and everyone was like, you can't do that anymore. Like, you're going to kill someone. But yeah, I guess what I'm trying to say is I could have gotten to a car fairly cheap and used and all kinds of stuff. But I think my dad already knew, like, these guys sometime, I'm not going to say any names. I know some dudes from my little small town that was around that place or even in that county. I'm pretty sure they dodged some bills to make sure that the car ran every Saturday night. That was like their life. And my dad was like, we started a place to do that. So we went to the track every Saturday. We had a good time. We helped out. But at the same time, it just wasn't in the cards because of money. I mean, period.
So on that side of things, I got a story. There was a guy at one of the first shops I started working at. He came in and stored his car there, and he ran out at BIR, which is Birmingham International, out of the fairgrounds. It doesn't exist anymore here in Birmingham, but it's a short track, and it was very popular back in the early 90s and stuff. But he told me that to stay racing out there, he mortgaged his house twice. And I'm just like, dude, if I'm ever racing, I told my friends this. I'm like, if I'm ever racing and I go to mortgage my house to keep me racing because I can't keep up with the money, please just lock me in a bedroom and don't let me come out.
I think you're going to say, will you co-sign? Sorry about that. My bad.
No, please don't ever let me go through that. That is the worst decision you could ever make. So.
Yeah, it's crazy what people will do to stay on the track too, and I don't blame them. I mean, once you get that fever, I'm sure it's crazy because I've been that way with just iRacing, or something. You need an upgrade or you need something, to get better. It just doesn't. You don't even care. You just want to be in it,
Oh, racing is a black hole, and yeah, you do want to be in it, and it's a blast to be a part of. But I guess for me, I haven't been in a car for 3 years because I don't have the money to build mine, and I haven't been invited. And finally, next weekend, I finally got invited to go drive someone else's car. So
that's even better. You can break somebody else's stuff. I love it.
Yeah, but he's a friend of mine, so I know he will come after me if I break his car.
Not after this weekend, he's not.
Well, what do y'all say we do some in it, bin it, and win it for Formula One?
I'm in.
Swerve.
I think that topic's pretty done and dusted.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to be rich, even if you're good. That doesn't mean that money is everything, but it means it's mostly.
If you're rich, you're good. Wait, no. If you're
rich and bad, you're good. If you're talented and poor, you're terrible.
Yeah, you're just not going to make it, bro. First world problems.
Oops.
If you're rich and bad, you're good. If you're good and broke, you're bad.
Sorry.
Yeah. In and win it. Who's on the?
I want to say
Antonio. I went first last week.
All right, I'm with it. I'll take it.
I nailed the 2 points.
Nice.
All right.
I should have taken it because I'm only 2 points behind y'all, and I got 2 points last week. So
we're going to sing to the poor. Okay, so
yo,
what do I want to take here? Well, this is the only time I should get to use Perez, so I'm going to use Perez as my win pick. Come on now, that's pretty cash money.
You think so, huh?
Of course, dude. This is getting crunch time. Levi and I are close on point. I say crunch time as if like we're getting to the end here. We still have what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 races. I guess we're a third left. So
how bad would it be if he had a DNF? How bad would that be for you? Oh, hope that doesn't happen, buddy.
Well, yeah, we'll have to hope it doesn't happen. But anyways, my in pick, I am going to take. Lewis Hamilton. He's my in pick.
Ooh.
And Bennett. Do I pick Sargent to let me down again? He's been doing really good recently. Who's gonna Bennett at Singapore? Hey, hold on a minute. Singapore. Didn't they change the track map? Did we go over the changes? We should probably talk about that. It's pretty significant.
Yeah, let's do that.
Have you guys seen the changes?
Not really.
It's substantial. Actually, I'll send them in chat real quick. So that's what it looks like now, and that's what it looked like previously. So I don't know how much of these guys know Singapore, how much like everybody knows Singapore, but basically they've left the entire first sector alone. The entire second sector is the same. But from turns 14 to what was 23 is now 19. So on the old track map, they essentially took out the right, left, right again. And basically after turn 14, it now goes straight right to what was turn 20 before. Now it's a chicane. So essentially what this is going to do, the intention behind this is to make the racing better. And I do think it will be. They did take out the technicality of it, unfortunately. So I think, Singapore used to be kind of known as like an endurance race sort of for the drivers. Like it's pretty tough on them. Now it's a little bit easier. But I do think it'll be a lot better racing. I think it opened up a lot more passing opportunities. So we should see more happening there, in that sector 3 section. Because I know that one was pretty rough before, and then you'd get back to the front straight and you'd be like, well, now I can't pass him because I'm too far away from him. So anyways, back to my bin pick. I'm going to take Sargent. He always lets me down, so let's do it.
Nice.
Good picks. Who's up next?
Dave.
Ooh. What was your win pick?
My win was Perez.
I thought it was. Because you went first, and that would be the obvious choice. On a street course. In a Red Bull.
True. I forgot about the street course.
Well, I'm going to take Charles Leclerc. Because that's what you should have picked.
Ooh. I hope you get the point, honestly.
Yeah, man. And then the silent I need points, so I'm not really trying to make a statement here. I pick in it Fernando Alonso. Want points, give me points. Bennett. Man, this one's always tough.
You say Alonso?
In it.
You picked Alonso to be in it, hey? I'm surprised.
Top 10? Oh, easy.
It's true. Fair enough, but there's more guarantees, but yeah, take it.
Oh, no, I want to be a little risky, but no, I like it. Come on, Fernando. And then let's say Oscar Piastri to Bennett. Hasn't raced a Formula One car here, has been racing very aggressive, and has got away clean mostly, but no big accidents totally out of the race. But I think we're due. So Piastri, Bennett.
Poor Piastri.
Yeah, so take that.
Oh, real quick with the track map, I did miss one other thing too. Turn 10 used to be a little chicane. Now it's just a left-hander. So if you look at the track maps, just look it up. You'll know what I'm talking about. I just wanted to make sure that got in there because it is quite a substantial change. All right, Levi, that leaves you.
I was going to say I don't know why I cannot ever keep up with who's up on this thing. Like I don't. It's easy. It's alphabetical, and I still can't figure it out. That's because I'm from small town Western Oklahoma. Yeah, boy, can't know my alphabet. My ACDs.
You got
to know my ACDCs. Anyways, let's see. So to win it, golly, you guys took the good ones, didn't you? Alonso was my pick, Dave. So on you.
You can still
pick him to win it.
He hasn't been picked to win.
He hadn't been picked to win?
No,
he
he just
didn't
don't
be-
know.
Oh, you picked Leclerc. Yeah. Alonso up. Win it for sure.
Picking
In
Alonso to win it? Y'all are fucking crazy, bro.
Well,
I'm
come
just
on
saying.
now. I think Perez is going to get too aggressive after some tire stop, and then I'm going to get an extra
But
point
you
if all
think-
this goes right.
you think
so he's got
Alonso-
extra time, and then he's going to get too aggressive trying to get around because he knows he's like the street king, and then he's going to get into it. He's going to do DNF. Max is going to win it, and then Alonso's going to come in the back. I mean, dude, it's Singapore, bro.
Did you
Like, it's a
forget
street course.
Ferrari
He's
and Mercedes exist?
Hey, it's all good.
All right, I'll leave you to it.
Come on now.
I'll
Lead me
take
to it,
my
bro.
Victory,
Lead me
that's
to
all
it.
I'm saying.
Russell for the points. And for the beyond it would be Logan.
Meow.
Our man Logan.
Oh, we love to see
Yeah, street course is going to
copycat.
come out and bite him.
100%.
Did you already pick him?
I picked him to bin it, but it don't matter. We can pick the same thing.
Yeah, but I want to beat you. So, yeah, give me that.
Pick
Give me
like a
that
Haas
Pierre.
or something.
Give me that Gasly. Give me that
Really?
Gasly, bro.
You picking
Yeah,
Gasly, bro. You're crazy. I would have picked.
he's
the
gonna be.
freaking
He's gonna be
Haas,
trying to
bro.
elbows out. This is a street course, man. If you get 2 elbows out, you're gonna wreck. So,
Pick a Haas, bro. You would have had a better chance.
now you're good. That's my picks, bro.
All right, Norman,
I'm all
you're
over
up,
the
bro.
place.
You gonna pick Hulkenberg to win or something now? This guy's clearly before you. The guy's delusional. So.
All right, so I guess we're my win pick. Y'all are gonna call me crazy, but
Crazy.
You're crazy.
All right, delusional. Here we go.
Okay, more crazy than mine.
no, Lando Norris.
All right, never mind. He's crazier than me.
It's
Lando
possible.
Norris finished second at the Hungaroring. The Hungaroring is known as the racetrack, the Monaco of racetracks. We're going to a street course. I think he has the talent to do it.
Wait, Hungaro rings a second. Wait, I'm confused.
They call the Hungaroring the Monaco of racetracks,
Why? 'Cause it's so
meaning that it
technical?
runs like Monaco does, but it's a racetrack. It has runoff. So,
Yeah. Okay, it makes sense.
so
All
the
right.
so
All right, what's your next delusional pick?
the next one's not delusional because I just want to make sure I stay with points. So my in it is going to be Perez. So I just grab me a point there. That's my safe pick. I'm gonna go since that a sergeant's been picked. I'm gonna leave him out there. I'm gonna go with the other Alpine Eskimo.
Eskimo?
Eskimo pie.
Is
Love
gonna
it.
bin it, but I don't think he wrecks. I think he has an engine failure.
We should have said you can't pick it until you say it. That's what we should make from here on out.
Esteban Ocon. Is that
There
better?
you go, Esteban. But yes, I like it. It's close enough. I like it. You're like me. You're from redneck country, so everything's Esteban. Esteban Ocon.
So those are my 3 picks. Now watch Perez take second and Norris take third. I'm gonna be pissed.
Yeah, that's more.
That's how it normally goes for me.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I'm telling you, Perez. He's crazy at these road courses. I really hope I'm right, though. Hope he has a bad day just because of the points. You know, for
Cause
our
you
little
had
deal.
a bad day. You take a walk down, sing sad song, just turn it on. Yeah? No, just me. All right.
Just you, buddy.
My fault.
Perez was not good at Monaco though.
Perez was just not good.
Hey,
No.
but he's got the best car, so I have a chance.
Dude, I'm saying Monaco's
Remember what we
its
said
own
here?
little-
This is this is
thing.
like how we talk about money and talent. So like, would you take the guy who's like a 70 driver, but he's got like the 80 car, or would you take the guy that's got the 80 driver and the 70 car? I'm taking the 80 car. I'm just saying.
I think dude, if I was picking first, I'd definitely pick Perez, but
Exactly. So shut up.
but he's still not the shoe in this week that you're trying to make him out to be.
All right, okay, with Mr. Technical Analysis over here, I'm gonna start calling you. What is his name? Joylan Palmer, or whatever the fuck his name is. I need fucking. Where's
Joylan Palmer? What is up with us saying names? Joylan Palmer.
Have you ever looked at his name, bro? How the fuck do you say that? Jolyon, like Jolyon. Jolyon.
Jolyon Palmer.
How you say it though? I'm serious. I actually got no idea.
Jolyon Palmer.
Jolyon.
It's more like Jolyon.
Hey, Ja, how you doing?
Hey, Ja, what's up, Ja? Jolyon Palmer.
So sorry. Say it one more time. Jolyon.
Jolyon.
I have an idea. How about we just pick a normal name?
Yeah, we can do that. I mean, that's
like
up
people.
for grabs.
That's like people who like name their. Oh no, okay, I can't say this. I'm gonna piss someone off.
Oh, here we go.
Y'all are American. Y'all got the crazy ass names. You know what's funny, bro? As Canadians, every time we be racing, we always go to the States and we're like looking at the names and we're just like, what the fuck kind of name is that? Like, dude's last name. Dude's last name is like Smith or something. So they're like, no, we got to make the first name fucked up or something. My name's like. I can't even say the name too because if they listen to this, I'm gonna get shit on. So I can't. I'll say once we stop recording, but it's funny.
There's a dude in my town named Jeep.
Is it JEAP? Because I've seen that name before.
JEEP.
Oh, like Jeep.
And then I got another friend that has a son named Diesel.
Okay,
yeah,
I've heard the name Diesel.
Though.
Yeah, it's still weird, but it's American, I guess.
Wow.
My name's Xanax.
I think that's gonna do it for lap 34.
Just cut us off. It's all good. We don't know.
Just cut them off. Just cut them off. Xanax. What?
I think that's gonna do it.
Man, I raced with a girl named Zan. I'm dead serious. XAN.
Zan?
So let us know how you like the new layout with going over the races pretty quickly, and then
they're not gonna let us know. Let's be real. Nobody let us know. We just talk. Is there anybody actually listening? Let us know.
Yeah, just get on the Discord and say I'm listening, so we'll know.
Hi, James East. I know you listen.